Okay. After you install it, you can go to the settings. The other settings are for display, okay, and how do you want to put the input and output in these things. But this is the main thing here, okay. You have to select which side for the driving, okay, and which units are you using, okay. So you can see here US SCM in metric units, US SCM and customary units. So metric means it will be in meters, okay, and you will be following the SCM style and so on and so forth. So I've selected this one, okay. You can see that you can make your own setup for the units and everything as well, okay. You can go there and change, okay. Then the first thing we do is you go to a site, okay. What type of site do you want? Do you want a signal or a roundabout, or the one with a control sign, okay. Control sign can be the stop sign or the give way sign, yield sign, okay. So what type of site you want? It can be a pedestrian crossing as well. It can be freeway. I don't know why it's freeway. It's called SIDRA Intersection. If you see, it could, okay, it could do an interchange as well. Anyways, I have not used it. Okay. If you go to the signal, okay, then it tells you what type of signal you want: at grade intersection, or a pedestrian signal, or a single point interchange. What type of signal do you want? Okay. So let's go for the most common one, the one which we have discussed in the class as well, which is the at grade intersection. Okay, so now you can see it has added a site here, okay. You can add multiple sites in the same file, so you can keep on adding it, and will add site 2, 3, 4 and so on, okay. For every site, when I click on the site, then I have these options to be filled, okay. If I go to any of these options, for example, I go here, okay, so I double click and that's why I see this window, but I wanted to show you, okay, no, maybe not now. Anyways, it shows in this window as well, okay. So I have clicked on the intersection. This is where you give the intersection geometry, okay. What type of intersection do you want? Okay, so you can have something like this. Right now it's a 4-leg intersection, okay, and they are, you can see the roads are perpendicular to each other, okay. But we may have a road which is not perpendicular. It can happen, right? Okay, then you can have an intersection where one road comes like this and the other one is in this way, okay. So you can select which road you want, okay, what type of road you want. So for example, I select this one, okay, and then I right clicked on it, and then you see these options, okay. So I went to the approach, the direction, and then I right clicked on it, okay. So it gives me these options. If I say no leg, this will be removed, okay. I can say one way, so it will only be one way. Then you can change the direction, one way this way or one way that way. You can change the direction, okay. Yeah, one way approach means one way going into the intersection. One way exit means going out of the intersection, okay. So you can select from here, or the one which is selected right now is two-way, okay. So you can go to the leg, whichever leg you want. So if I want a fifth one here as well, I can go there and I can select what to do with it. Right now it is not there, right? It's not taken, so the first option is selected, okay. If you want to make it a one-way approach, you can select this one. It's only for coming in. Clear? Okay. Whenever you click on any leg or any approach, then it shows you these options, not these. So this is for the site. So you can write the name of the site, the ID of the site, okay, site categories. What are the categories? You can put your own category, okay, site title, okay. So the details which you want to put, you can, but this will be for the whole site. These things are for the whole intersection. Okay. Then these are things for each approach. Okay. So right now I have selected this approach. Okay. So what is the name of the road in this approach? It is one way, right? But you can change the type. The types which I showed you: one way, two way, one way exit, one way approach, or something like this. Okay. So type the distance. Okay. Distance is from this approach to the next intersection, wherever the next intersection is. On this side, how long is the road? Okay. And long doesn't mean the end of the highway. Long means the next intersection is the approach. Clear? Okay. What else do I have here? Okay, there are other things which we have not discussed. Okay, so I will not go in those details. Okay, once you did this, once you selected the parameters, okay, this, because I don't have any volume data right now, so you don't see this option. Okay, but once you have completed the data, it will show you the option of it shows the option of processing the site. Processing the site means it will do the calculations for you. Delay, level of service, signal timing, whatever you want. After you click on process the site, it will do the calculations for you. Okay, but right now we haven't finished the data yet. Okay, so right now I will not do it. I will simply click OK, and the window will close without any calculations. Okay, OK means the window will close, no calculation. Process means window will close, calculations will be done. You will have the output. Okay, and apply means just it will apply. If I do the cancel, then the changes which I have made will not be there. Okay, the changes will not be saved. Okay, the next option is movement functions or movement definitions. Okay, so what type of classes you have? What type of vehicles you have? Okay, do you have buses? Do you have bicycles? Do you have large trucks? Okay, so you can select them and it will be added. Okay, right now only these two are added. You can make your own class. Okay, so put a name of your class, write down or select a vehicle. Okay, and you can add the classes if you want. You can make your own classes and so on and so forth. So this is for the type of vehicle, yeah. For each side, you select which movements are applicable. For each side, which movements are allowed. Okay, so you can see which movement is not allowed. U-turn is not allowed. If I want U-turn, I will select it. Okay, now which side we are talking about? Yes. Okay, if I want to do it for the other side, I will select it from here and then select the movements. Okay, so this is then from the north side. Clear? Okay, if I want it from here, it will be from the east side and so on and so forth. Okay, this is changing, right? Yes. So for example, when I select the north side, from north side, if I take the U-turn, I will go back to the north, right? If I am here, take the U-turn and go back to the north, right? From north side, if I take the left turn, from the north side, if I take the left turn, I'll go towards east. Okay, if I go straight, I will be going south. So you can see where you are going. Okay, so you go there, select each approach, select which movements are allowed. Okay, and you can see where they are going. Clear? Okay, there is this option as well. This option as well. Okay, so it shows you the complete view with the movements and everything. Okay. The next thing is lane geometry. Okay, so now you will put the data about what? About the lanes. Okay, so first of all, how many lanes you have on each side? Okay, so again, you will select the side from there, approach. Okay, then you will see the lanes. Okay, so for example, now this is selected. Can you see it from there? Okay, so you selected this side. Okay, now this side has 3 lanes on one side, 2 for the other direction, right? Okay, and then you can see which movements are there. Okay, so this one has straight and this one only straight, this one only left. If I want to change it, I can change it from, there was an option. There used to be an option there. Otherwise, you can just normal shorthand. Okay. So you have to go to the other side. Okay. So I was looking at it from there. Okay. But for the movements, you have to come to lane disciplines. Okay. So now you see here. So you select the lane from this side. I selected the left turning lane, right? Okay. Now I want this lane to have left and straight both. Okay. So what I will do, I select this lane. First of all, select the side from here. Then select the lane from there, and then you come here, and now you can select which one you want. Okay, so if I want the straight as well, I'll go there, and I will select it. Okay, but now right now it is only selected for light vehicles. Only light vehicles can go straight from this lane. Heavy vehicles cannot come into this lane. This is what it is saying. Okay, if I selected both, then any vehicle can come into this lane. Clear? Okay. One more thing. You see these 2 lanes, they are continuous. Okay, but if you look at the third one, you see a gray area here, right? So this lane is not continuous. It's an extra lane. You see extra lanes for right turning and left turning, right? Okay, so this is an extra lane. Right now it is an extra lane. Okay, if I want to change it, I have to go back to the first tab, lane configuration. You see now which lane is it? Short lane. Okay, so short lane is the extra lane which you give. Okay, so and which one is this? A full length lane. Okay, clear? Some other options you can see here. You can add an approach lane on the right hand side or on the left hand side. Okay, using these options. Approach lane means what? They are coming where? In. Coming to the intersection. Okay. You can add an exit lane to the right hand side or the left hand side. Okay. And you can add an strip island. So you may have seen sometimes for left turning lane, we have an island between the 2 lanes, a small median. Okay, that small median is called as strip island. Okay, so again, you can add a strip island on the left hand side or on the right hand side. Obviously now you cannot add an island in this case, right? An island in this case will not make any sense. Okay, because this lane is for straight, this lane is for straight. Okay, but if I change the movement, then an island can be given. If I so I go there, I remove the straight. Okay, now I can add. Now you can see here I'm in this lane, right? Okay, there is already a median here. Okay, so I cannot add a strip island on the other side because it's already there. Median is already there. Okay, but I can still add a strip island on the right hand side. Okay, so clear? Okay, I can delete it as well. Delete this one. Okay, I can delete a lane as well. I can delete the strip island as well, the median. Okay, and so on and so forth. It's a median, so when you click on the median, it tells you, or it asks you for the width. Okay, so now you see it shows you two widths, front and back. Okay, which one is front, which one is back? It is a median, right? So what is front width and back width?
For the short lane,
Yeah, okay, so front is with the short lane and back is without the short lane. This is the full median. This is a full median, so this is 15 feet according to the software right now. Obviously, you can change the dimension. You can make it whatever you want. Okay, I'm just explaining what does it mean. Okay, so when you put a short lane, you will have two median widths. One the normal one, the other one with the extra lane. Okay, so the normal one is the back, and the one with the extra lane is called the front. Okay, so yeah. So now we have no median. Okay, similarly you can add the median as well. So on. Okay, what type of median do you want? Do you want solid, liquid, gas? Okay, lane data. Okay, so again, so I'm going to the third tab now. Okay, the third tab is the lane data tab. Okay, what do we need to put? The saturation flow rate. Okay, the saturation flow rate. What is saturation flow rate?
Without stopping.
Without stopping. The maximum flow rate without stopping. What are you doing with the calculator? Hamza.
Yes.
What are you doing with the calculator? When we are doing problem in the class, you are doing nothing. I'm explaining the software, doing with the calculator. It's 2 steps behind. Okay, and what is this lane utilization? We will keep it to the program because obviously we don't have the data. But lane utilization means what? We did in the previous examples, the two examples which we did, we use factors for lane utilization. What was that?
Percentage.
Yeah. If you have, for example, the straight is in 2 lanes, right? Okay, so lane utilization will tell the program how much of the straight will go in one lane, how much will go in the other lane. This is the lane utilization ratio. So obviously, for the left hand side lane, it doesn't matter. For the other lanes, it will matter, and you can put the value. Okay. Saturation is speed of the vehicles when you attain saturation flow rate. Okay, speed of the vehicles when you attain saturation flow rate. Okay, now which speed do we know about? Which is free flow speed, right? Is it the same? No. Okay, because you cannot have maximum flow rate and free flow speed, right? Free flow speed is in free flow, which is the fluid is very low. Okay, so they are not same. So again, the program can calculate it for you. If you put the saturation flow rate here, it can calculate the value for you. Okay, or if you want to put, you can have your own value. Okay. If you have any buses stopping, if you have any parking maneuvers, okay, all these things affect saturation flow rate. So you can see we did one example as well in the slides for calculating the saturation flow rate. And we were using the same factors. Okay, we were using the same factors. We were using basic saturation flow rate, lane utilization factor, heavy vehicle, obviously heavy vehicle you have already put. So buses stopping, parking, and so on and so forth. Yes.
What is Doctor and TCU?
What is doctor? What is also TCU? What is TCU?
TCU
TCU per hour through car units. Through car units. Okay. Saturation flow rate by default is for through. Now through means what? Straight. Okay. And cars. So it's already converted. Now when you will put your volume, you don't have to worry about these things. The software will do the conversions for you because you are putting the data. We'll put percentage of heavy vehicles, we'll put the terrain, gradient, you will put it. So software will do it for you. This is what? No, this is saturation flow rate. Saturation flow rate is by default in through car units. Okay, so any other value is not possible here. You cannot say my saturation flow rate is in vehicles per hour. It cannot happen. Okay, and even the capacity as well. If you go back to the questions we have done, capacity is always in passenger cars per hour. Okay, so these are standard values and they have standard units. You cannot change it. There is no conversion for them. Okay, so if you put them, they will be in passenger cars. Even the capacity, that is passenger cars through. Passenger cars for through. Okay, and whatever calculations are required, the software will do it for you. Okay, if you are doing it manually, then you do it manually. Okay. So this was the data for the. Okay, now you see here. I made some changes, right? I made some changes with geometry. Actually, I didn't. I was just adding and subtracting to show you. Okay, but now it shows here apply. Okay, so if you click here, the changes you have made will be applied. Okay, if you click OK, same thing. The changes which you have made will be applied. They will be saved. Okay, if you do process site, changes applied and calculations done. Okay, if you do cancel, no changes, no processing. Okay, clear now? The difference between OK and apply is just the closing of the window. If you do apply, it will not close the window, changes will be saved. If you do OK, changes will be saved, the window will be closed. Okay, the windows are already closed. Right? Okay, but the point here is, I'm just showing you, so you have to do it like for each side. Okay, now right now it is showing me the data for the south side. You want it for the north side, then you will select the north side from here and then the same thing. Clear? Okay, any questions? Yes, calculations are correct?
Correct.
Very good. Okay. See, I'm crossing it out, so it's like cancelling it. Okay. Next thing is lane movement. This is where you will okay, this is where you are putting the percentage of heavy vehicles and everything. Okay, so for example, if I go here, so what percentage of light vehicles will go from this lane? Okay, now for this lane, I don't need anything, right? Because this is only one lane for left turning. Okay, on the south side, there's only one lane for left turning, so 100% light vehicles, heavy vehicles will go from here. Okay, but if I come here to this lane, okay, I can select how many or what percentage of heavy vehicles will go from, what percentage of light vehicles will go from this lane, what percentage of light vehicles will go from this lane. So you can do it even to that much detail. In the examples which we were doing, we didn't do percentage of heavy vehicles or light vehicles. We took total, 55% of total here, 45% of total from the other side. But in the software, you can do it in more details. Okay. So normally, then you know the heavy vehicles are on the right hand side. Okay. So I can do that for light vehicles. I'll make it, let's say 60. Yes. Okay. and I can go here. Sorry, this is for the exit lane. Anyways, so I'm in the third lane. Okay, so in this lane now I'm saying that heavy vehicles will be 0. Okay, in this lane, all heavy vehicles who are going in any direction will be in this lane. Okay, and so on and so forth. Clear? Okay, so you can even select the percentage of heavy vehicles which are going from different lanes. Okay, you can say all 100% of the heavy vehicles will go from this lane, and there will be no heavy vehicles in this lane. So heavy vehicles for this lane can be set to 0, and light vehicles you can distribute. Okay, clear? Okay, so this is blockage configuration. We didn't do it. Okay, so then we had pedestrian data. Okay, so you can do none, so no pedestrian crossing then. Okay, and again you can do it for each side. Okay, so maybe no pedestrian crossing on the south side, but pedestrians are crossing from the other side. It can happen. The software can allow it. Okay, so I can do none here, and then for the other sides I can keep it. Okay, then we have full crossing and we have stage crossing. Okay, full crossing means the pedestrian will go from here to here, one movement. Okay, stage crossing means it will go from here to median and then to the other side. Okay, so it will calculate the timing or calculate the flow accordingly. Okay, clear? Okay, then how many pedestrians are crossing is per hour. This is per hour. Okay, what other factor we have? Yes, we will see it for the vehicles as well. Peak flow factor means peak hour factor. Peak hour factor. Peak flow factor means peak hour factor. And the other difference is usually we keep it in decimals, 0.9, 0.8, something like this. They are putting it in percentage. Okay. So if you have a peak hour factor of 0.9, it will be 90%. Okay. But this one is for pedestrians. So even for pedestrians you can calculate peak hour factor. Okay. Even for pedestrians we can calculate peak hour factor and we can put the values here. Okay. So again you will go to each side, select or first of all select if you have pedestrians, you have full crossing, stage crossing, then you put the pedestrian number, you put the peak hour factor for the pedestrians. Okay, for the pedestrians, and the number is in the number of pedestrians is in 1 hour, 60 minutes. You can allow diagonal crossing as well. Okay, it will be fun. Okay, then we have the vehicle data. Okay, again you will select each side. Okay, and then you will under each movement you will put the total number of vehicles you have. Okay, so right now it is how many vehicles? One vehicle. Okay, 1 for going left, then 1 for going through, 1 for taking right. Which side? The south side. Okay, so you select each side, put the total number here, put the percentage of heavy vehicles here. Okay, if there is any problem, then it will show something here, an error message. If the volumes have a problem, it may show you error message as well. Okay, what else do I have? Volume factors, yes. So what do you see here? Flow scale, just leave it. Okay, there is no scale here. 100% flow. Okay, peak flow factor is what? Peak hour factor. Okay, converted to percentage. And then we have the yearly growth rate. Okay, it will only matter if you are doing the analysis for like after 20 years, 30 years. You ask the software, you can do this. You can ask the software, okay, do the analysis for me, what will happen after 20 years, 30 years. Only then the growth factor is important. Otherwise, if you are just doing the analysis one time, it doesn't matter. Whatever the volume you are putting now, it will just take this value and calculate the answers. That's it. Okay, so growth factor is only applicable when you are doing it for future growth or future analysis. Okay. What else? Yes. Now, right now you see these factors are for all vehicles. Okay, so again the software gives you the chance you can put a different peak hour factor for light vehicles and heavy vehicles. You can do this. Obviously, then you need the data as well. Okay, don't just think, okay, let's do this. Okay, you need the data as well. Okay, what else? Yeah, so the time of volume. So this is one vehicle in 1 hour, 60 minutes. Okay, you can change it. Okay, you can say I have the whole day of data. You can use the whole day of data. Convert, change it. Right now, it is asking for you. It is asking you to put total volume and percentage of heavy vehicles. You can change the method from here. Okay, so for example, I can do total and vehicles. So now it is asking me for what? Total number of vehicles, number of heavy vehicles. This is not percentage now. This is number of vehicles. Okay, so you can change it from here. I'll keep it what it was. Okay, and then you have the peak flow period. Okay, so this is used in the calculation of peak hour factor. Okay, this is used in the calculation of peak hour factor. Obviously, you don't remember that, but it is. Okay, remember. Okay, so you can calculate peak hour factor using 15 minutes interval. You can calculate peak hour factor using 5 minutes interval. You can calculate peak hour factor using 10 minutes interval as well. Some of you may have had this question when you were taking traffic with me. Okay, in some exams I did this. Use 10 minutes and then calculate the peak hour factor. So you have the option to change it if you calculated the peak hour factor for some other time interval. Okay. Okay, priorities, this is coming or this option is applicable if you are doing it for a signal. Okay, so priorities tell that which movements are opposing to each other and which movements are allowed with that movement. Okay, so you see this one here. Now, when I have these two movements, this one is not allowed, blocked. Okay, so you see the green and red will not happen together. Okay, you can change this. Okay, so this can be changed. So how do I change it? I just keep on clicking it. Okay, so we are talking about right now this movement. Okay, so this one is selected. Now you can select which movement is allowed and which movement is not allowed. Okay, so you select the movement from here. Okay, so for example, I can select this one. Okay, so when this movement is allowed, which movement should be blocked? This one, right? Okay, so I can block this one. Clear? Okay, when this movement is allowed, which one should be blocked?
You blocked the red one.
Yeah, the other one will become green, right? They will not happen together, right? The point is they will not happen together. This is the point. Okay, you select one movement which is happening and you select the other movement which should not be happening. This is the point. Okay, so you select one from the circles. Okay, and the other movements which you want to block, then you click on the movement directly and it will block those movements. Clear?
Only for east, west, and north, south.
What do you mean?
Like if we open this through west. Also, south and north should be.
Yeah, you can block them, no problem. Okay, so whichever movements you want to block. Okay, usually it does not allow movements from that will conflict. Okay, so usually this is not a problem. The problem is only this, okay, or this. Okay, this and this will never happen together.
So here
Okay.
I must select the locked and allow.
Yeah,
The software will not do it.
it can do it. It can do for you. It has some defaults. Okay, but in some cases you want to block some additional movements. You want to have your own plan. You can do this. Okay, if you leave it, it will do something for you. Okay, it will take something for you, something which is regular. Okay, so priority means selecting the combination of movements which are conflicting with each other or which should not be allowed together. Then we have gap acceptance. Gap acceptance again is to be used when where is gap important for with the signal, without the signal? Without the signal. Okay. With the signal you have the signal. You don't have to wait for the gap, right? You just go when the signal is green, right? So this is more important when you are doing roundabouts or stop signs or something. Okay, because then you wait for the gap and then you go. So your flow depends upon how many gaps you have. Okay, a signal, it doesn't depend upon the gaps. Okay. Cruise speed means the free flow speed. Cruise speed means the free flow speed. Okay. So approach cruise speed means the speed at which the road is entering, the free flow speed of the road entering. Okay. And exit means the approach speed of the road which is exiting the intersection. Okay. So you can go there. Okay. Select on each side. Okay. And then you can put the speed of the free flow speed of both directions, the approach and the exit. Okay, and again the software gives you the option to do it for different types of vehicles as well. Okay, normally it is for the light vehicles. Cruise speed is for the light vehicles, passenger cars. Okay, but if you want to put the cruise speed for the heavy vehicles as well, you can do this. Okay, so you select the site from there and then you select the type of vehicle you have and then you can insert the values. Okay, clear? Okay, negotiation speed, negotiation radius, we did not discuss them, but they are related to the negotiation distance, they are related to the geometry of the intersection. Yeah, if you have coordination, okay, we will discuss it next time, but if you have coordination, then you can use this as well. Okay, coordination means what? We discussed it, semi-actuated, coordinated signals. What are coordinated signals? Huh?
All the green in the sequence that flows.
You were saying something? No? You were saying. Okay, so yeah, it's a sequence of signals which are programmed together to give the drivers continuous green. Okay, these are coordinate signals. So if you have coordination, you can put the values over here. Arrival type, we have seen the table for arrival type and these things. But if you just put the spacings, the program can calculate the arrival type and everything for you. Phasing and timing. Yes.
Coordinated signal is based on very close speed, right?
Yep.
Or,
Okay. So here you see the phases. Okay, so A is a phase, B1 is a phase, B2 is a phase, and so on and so forth. What is happening in these phases, you can see it in the diagram. Okay, so now you are saying that if I don't define in the priorities, you can still see the phases here. Okay, so this is by default. It has already taken some phases by default. According to the geometry, it has already taken some phases by default.
And the
Okay.
summation of the bias ratios is done.
No, it has not done anything right now. Okay, it will do any calculation once you process the site. Okay, so I put the volume, but I did not yet process it. So right now it has not done anything. No design, no calculation, nothing. Okay. Okay, so now you see which movements are happening in phase A. Tell me.
Left
The two left turns, right? The two left turns are happening together. And the things which are not happening, they are all in red. Okay? You want to allow any particular movement with it, then you will click on it and it will become green. Okay? So, which other phase I have? Okay, so you see now phase B1 is this one. All movements from this side. Okay, and which other movement is allowed with it? Or happening with it? The pedestrian movement. Okay, now I may say no, these people are taking a right turn, pedestrian movement is very dangerous. So I go there and I click on it. So pedestrian is blocked. Okay, if I again click on it, it is allowed. Okay, so you click on the phase, you see what is happening and so on. Okay, you can add a phase. Okay, so it will show a diagram like this. So I can add a phase here. Okay, so I can put the name of the phase here, U, and then I can select which movements will be allowed and which movements will be blocked. Okay, like this. So these two movements are allowed. Clear? Okay, we have the, yes.
In phase B1, when you block the movement of pedestrian, they will add it to another movement or another phase?
It should be. It should be. If you don't do this, it will show you an error. Because right now it was already, it may have already assigned the pedestrian to one of the phases, default phases. Now you blocked it.
So you have to add
You have to now add it to some other. Okay. The default you already changed. Okay. If you keep the default, it has already taken all the movements. It did not do the calculations, but all the movements are done. Okay. So there is no problem with that. Okay. So the sequence. Okay. You want which type of signal? Okay. You want fixed time signal or actuated signal. With the actuated signal, then it will ask you where you want to put the sensors and so on. Okay, you can have two-phase signal, you can have split phasing, you can have leading left turn. Leading left turn means left turning phase will happen first and then the straight. This is leading. Okay, separately. Okay, so you can select one of the sequences here. Okay, what else? Okay, so you can put the time of the phase yourself. Okay, so it will take these times and do the calculations according to these timings. Okay, if you don't, then it can do the design for you as well. Okay, so you don't want to do the design, you already have the timing, you want to see the delay and develop service, you do this. Okay, yellow and all that time you can put it. What else do we have? Reference phase. Yes, one of the phases is taken as a reference phase. I believe this is the first phase of the sequence. Okay, but not sure. Okay, what else? Yeah, if I go for actuated signal, right now it is fixed time. Right now it is fixed time. It's only asking you for one time. Okay, if I go for actuated, then in actuated you can put minimum and maximum green time. because in actuated the time changes according to the sensor. Okay, so it will ask you for minimum and maximum green time. Okay, so cycle length, okay, rounded off, maximum cycle time, what do you want? Okay, so it will do the calculation. If you ask it to do the calculation, it will do it for you, but it will not go above this value. So if your volume is very high, the cycle length required is 200 seconds, but you put 150 here. So it will do 150, and then it will tell you, okay, it is still level of service F, and so on. Rounding off to nearest 10 seconds, okay. Should it optimize the cycle time? Should it optimize the maximum green time? You want to give your own cycle length, you want to use your own phase timings, and so on and so forth. Okay, and the last thing is undetected movement. So some of the movements can be taken as undetected. Okay, so this is again for if you have the sensors. Okay, so you can have sensors for some movements, some movements can be without sensors, and so on. Okay. Now once you have finished this, then you process the site and it will show you, it will add a file here. Okay, it will add a file with the outputs. Okay, outputs involve the delay, the level of service, the timing, if you did the design and everything. Okay, last thing is this one. Yeah, what type of analysis do you want? Okay, you want to do the design, you want to do the sensitivity analysis. Okay, so sensitivity analysis will change the values. Sensitivity means change the values and see what happens with the level of service and delay and so on and so forth. Okay, this is what we call as sensitivity analysis. Okay, so if you are doing the design, then what level of service do you want? What is your performance measure? How do you want to judge the signal is good or bad, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what you can do is, and you have the model parameters as well, and so on. Okay, what you can do is once you have finished your intersection data, okay, you have to get the volumes as well, obviously. Everything else you know already, the number of lanes, and you know these things. Once you finish with the volume data, then you will put this volume data into the software and you will process it. Okay, and then you can attach the outputs, okay, with the report. Clear? Okay, any questions? Yes. Okay, so if you want the software, you can take it from me in a flash drive. Okay, but it's available, downloadable.